Have a wonderful day to all of us, especially to you, Ma'am Machete. My name is Delfina Imales. Today, I will present my final project under this subject, Curriculum Planning and Programming. This is the curriculum plan intended for college students. The title of this curriculum plan is Foreign Language Korean Introduction to Hangukmal and Fascinating About Hangul. This is the overview of this course. This course this course aims to provide the students an introduction to basic Korean language and culture as another tool of communication. Each lesson will cover skills of listening, reading, speaking, writing, and interactive practices through which students can use the language actively. This course is designed to provide the students with the knowledge of proper pronunciation of Korean alphabet, some greetings, numbers, telling time, colors, forms or shapes, family, parts of the body, and words that are basic in our daily life. Cultural readings and videos are included in each lesson, giving the students additional opportunity to utilize the target vocabulary and grammar in classroom conversation. Korean grammar, nouns, articles, adjectives, and verb conjugation are also introduced in context with an emphasis on developing question and answering skills. Each chapter are provided with examples and exercises to practice and mastery of the lessons. Next page, this is uh, the learning outcomes. Number one, gain cultural knowledge about Korean speaking country. Number two, learn to read and write Hangul or Korean alphabet. Number three, practice pronunciation skills by listening to their own voice and comparing it to native voice of Korean speakers. Number four, practice listening, reading, speaking, and writing in Korean. Number five, begin to develop their ability to communicate effectively and express themselves with confidence in Korean language. Number six, perform and gain basic sentence patterns. Number seven, create and apply basic grammar within the framework of simple conversation. Okay, next page. This is the learning plan. In the first column is the learning outcomes. Second column is the learning objectives. Third column is the content. Fourth column is the time frame. Fifth column is the teaching and learning activities. The sixth column is the assessment, and the last is the learning resources. Since it is a foreign language, the first topic is about the alphabet or the Korean letters so that the students will be able to read and write. This is needed, or this would be their foundation to be able to do their activities and project, also for them to answer the questions and the test on the following days. Okay, on the first day, the learning outcome is that the students will be able to write their names without surname. Even if their names consist only 4 or 5 letters, it is not easy and not too hard. However, this would drive them to listen attentively and participate the activities so that by the end of the topic, they will be able to write their names. Of course, before starting the lesson, students should be aware that by the end of this topic, they should be able to write their name. So the learning objective should be aligned to these target outcomes, and these are the learning objectives stated in the second column. Students will learn the Korean alphabet and its history and begin to write using the Korean alphabet. Then the contents applied and then the content stated in the third column consists history of the Korean alphabet, basic vowels, combined vowels, basic consonants, double consonants, patterns in Korean syllable. The target time for this content to be discussed is 3 hours. Then, the teaching and learning activities for this content stated in the fifth column. First is the video clips watching. So, to introduce the students about Korean language and motivate them to cater visual and auditory learners. Next is the discussion about the letters to help them identify the equivalent Korean letter to the English letters and encourage them to write down. This is to cater reading and writing learners. Then the last activity will be the duel, in which partners stand back to back, holding different flashcards, facing out and away from them. After the start signal, they walk 3 steps, turn to face each other, and say what letters their partner has. This activity is to cater bodily kinesthetic learners and help the students to process the information quickly. Also, it would help the teacher easily identify the number of students who comprehend the lesson well and assess which part of the content is difficult and need further assessment. Then the learning resource materials are YouTube, website, and handouts. The days that cover another content about this course have the same target time, which is 3 hours. However, every content has different teaching and learning activities because it depends to the learning objectives. These are the learning objectives uses randomly. Video clips watching, dual, partners stand back to back, holding different flashcards facing out away from them. And after the start signal, they walk 3 steps, turn to face each other, and say what letters their partner has. Then group discussion and group work activity called buzz group. The group of students, the teacher will group the students and let them discuss about the topic. Then let them get to know each other by asking and answering using the basic Korean sentence. Then group work activity called Stump Your Partner. The students will create a question based on the lecture and pose the question to the person sitting next to them. Then they will write their answer in Korean letters too. Okay, next is the activity called All About Me Q. Students use the handy templates provided and construct sentences. Okay, then the assessment test would also differ because it depends to the target learning outcomes. The content about family terms, vocabularies has 6 hours time target because aside from learning vocabularies, students will also learn how to introduce and describe their family. Also, they will perform basic Korean conversation. Then, the content about honorific expressions, verbs, and adjective conjugation also has 6 hours time targets. Students will be able to learn some Korean verbs and adjectives. They will also conjugate and construct sentences. Next, these are the learning resources. The ebook, YouTube, some websites, handouts. Okay, and next is the integration of values: appreciation, awareness, consciousness, determination, integrity, patience, perseverance, and respect of God's creation. Then, course requirements. Number 1, major examinations. Number 2, performance test in video. The assessment task always has a video presentation because this is a language course, so the students can be evaluated effectively through talking. There are also some oral tests, but still video presentation is always present in which they can show their learnings. And number 3, classroom participation. And number 4, answering polls and on Messenger. This is a way to collect students' feedback. Answering polls on Messenger is required every after the content. It's the way on how to collect a student's feedback easily and quickly because the students will just click their choice or answer. It can help the teacher get the feedback easily to have reference for the assessment might be needed for every content. And prelim or midterm 50%, quizzes, this includes quizzes, activities, midterm exam, and outcome-based project. Next is semi-final or final term, 50%. This includes quizzes, activities, final exam, and outcome-based project. Lastly is the grading system, 50% passing mark or transmutation of raw scores or cumulative related scores. Okay, 30% major examination or assessment. The major outcome-based project or product of performance-based assessment, 30% too. Class standing, quizzes, class participation, assignments, other outputs or performances, and this is 40%. Total of 100%. And that's all, ma'am. Thank you, and God bless us all.